Buckle up, everyone, because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of motor vehicle body assemblers. I'm willing to bet most people listening probably haven't thought much about this line of work. But let me tell you, after digging through these sources, I have a feeling we're in for some serious eye-openers.
What's really interesting here is how this field blends old school craftsmanship with cutting edge technology. You might imagine a bunch of robots doing all the work, but that's not the whole picture, not at all. Human skill is still at the very heart of it.
Yeah, it's like this high-stakes dance between people, robots, lasers, you name it. Our sources really paint a vivid picture of what goes on in these plants. I was actually blown away by the sheer scale of these places. We're talking massive, sprawling complexes. And it's all about these teams working together to bring these incredibly complex machines to life.
And that's where the human element really comes into play, adaptability.
Yeah.
Think about it, the auto industry is constantly changing. Electric vehicles, hybrids, new materials. It's moving at lightning speed.
Absolutely. This isn't your grandparents' assembly line anymore. Everything we've read really underscores how vital it is to be adaptable and tech-savvy in this field. We're talking CNC machines, robots working right alongside humans. You need to be able to keep up.
Exactly, and that's actually a huge plus for anyone thinking about this career path. The potential for learning and developing really incredible skills is off the charts.
Couldn't agree more. You're not just learning one task and doing that over and over. You're constantly learning, growing, evolving right along with the industry. That makes things exciting, but also demanding, of course, especially as technology keeps changing the game. I mean, imagine having to learn a brand new way to assemble a car door, using completely different materials and techniques than the day before. Talk about adaptability. And on top of that, you've got the appeal of a good salary and job security, which, let's face it, is something a lot of people are looking for in this day and age.
You've hit on some of the major perks there, but it's important to look at the whole picture. This is demanding work, physically demanding, lots of repetitive motions, and you have the potential exposure to chemicals and fumes. It's not always glamorous. Safety's a big deal. Deadlines are tight, and there's always the risk of injury.
So true. It's all about balance, right? It's not just shiny new cars and fancy tech. This job demands resilience, focus. You really need to be aware of your surroundings. That being said, for someone who really enjoys working with their hands, it can be incredibly rewarding. So let's say someone's listening to this and thinking, hey, this sounds interesting. Where would they even begin?
Well, picture yourself as an entry-level assembler. You're on the factory floor learning the ropes, getting your hands dirty, and I mean that literally sometimes. But you're seeing those vehicles come together piece by piece, and that's a pretty amazing feeling.
Okay, you've got me hooked. Break it down for us. What are some of the day-to-day tasks and responsibilities at that entry point?
So you're going to be fastening parts, using all kinds of hand tools and power tools, wrenches, screwdrivers, the classics. You're learning by doing, watching the more experienced assemblers. And crucially, you're starting to wrap your head around those technical plans, those blueprints. Those are what make the vehicle a reality.
So it's like learning a whole new language, only instead of words, it's all about understanding how to put these complex machines together. Reminds me of those really complicated Lego sets, just, on a slightly larger scale. And speaking of learning and mastering new skills, we have to mention RoleCatcher. They have this fantastic CV builder that could be a game changer for anyone starting out in this field.
Absolutely. It's not just about throwing some words on a page. It's about showcasing your skills in a way that resonates with employers. And that's exactly what RoleCatcher's platform helps you do.
Like having a secret weapon, really. But let's get back to those blueprints for a second. What specific skills does an entry-level assembler need to have to read and understand those technical drawings?
Attention to detail is key, that's for sure. You're basically taking a flat blueprint and turning it into a real working part of a vehicle. You need to understand how things fit together in space, recognize different kinds of welds and joints. It's about seeing the big picture while nailing all the little things.
Like being a detective, but for machines. You're putting together clues, only the clues are nuts and bolts and welding symbols. I bet there's a huge sense of accomplishment that comes with seeing those vehicles take shape right in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. There's a real pride in the craftsmanship, knowing you had a hand in building something that will be out there on the road. But it's not all just assembly. Even at this early stage, you're responsible for quality control too. Imagine spotting a faulty part or a piece that's slightly off. You're preventing a major issue down the line.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility right from the start. Talk about needing a sharp eye. It's like those spot the difference games, but the stakes are way higher. One missed detail could snowball into a much bigger problem.
Exactly. It shows just how important those seemingly small things can be. And as you gain experience, as you prove yourself, you naturally move up the ladder, from entry level to junior assembler, then intermediate, and finally to the role of senior assembler.
So there's a clear path for growth, for advancement. That's something people really value these days. So let's say you've put in the time as an entry-level assembler. You've learned the ropes, honed your skills, you're ready for more. What does a typical day look like for a junior assembler?
Well, as a junior assembler, you're taking on more responsibility, dealing with more complex tasks. You might find yourself operating more specialized equipment, like those CNC machines we mentioned earlier. Imagine the precision needed to program and run a machine that cuts metal with laser accuracy.
That's next-level stuff. I'm picturing sparks flying, robotic arms moving with incredible speed and precision. Must be pretty amazing to work with that kind of technology. But it's not all about the machines, is it?
Nope, not at all. At this level, you're also starting to take on more of a leadership role. You might be guiding a small team of assemblers, training new hires on safety procedures, or sharing your knowledge of those technical drawings.
So it's not just about building cars anymore, it's about building teams, mentoring the next generation. That's got to be incredibly rewarding seeing someone else master a skill because of you. And it sounds like communication and teamwork become even more crucial at this stage. You're not just working on your own anymore, you're coordinating with others, making sure everyone's on the same page.
Couldn't agree more. This is where those people skills are just as important as your technical know-how. Being able to clearly explain instructions, really listening to your team members, working together to solve problems, those are all essential for a junior assembler.
Like being the conductor of an orchestra, only instead of musical instruments, you're harmonizing the movements of machines and people to create this incredible feat of engineering. Speaking of collaboration, our sources mentioned intermediate assemblers working directly with engineers and designers. Now that's what I call an interesting dynamic.
It is. As you move from junior to intermediate assembler, your role starts to go beyond the assembly line itself. You're not just following instructions anymore, you're actively contributing to the design and assembly processes, bringing your hands-on experience to the table.
So you're like a bridge between the drawing board and the factory floor, using your expertise to make the process even better. I'm sensing some serious potential for innovation here.
You're right on the money. Imagine being part of a team that figures out a more efficient way to assemble a car door, or finds a solution to a bottleneck in production. Your insights coming straight from the front lines are invaluable.
Now, that's the kind of problem solving I can get behind. It's not just about following a script. It's about critical thinking, teamwork, finding creative solutions to real-world challenges.
And that brings us to the top of the ladder, the senior motor vehicle body assembler.
Okay, so now I'm picturing someone with years of experience under their belt, a deep understanding of every single step in the assembly process, and the ability to troubleshoot any problem that comes their way. Am I getting warm?
You're getting warmer. At this level, it's about more than just hands-on work. A senior assembler is like the conductor of an orchestra. They oversee the entire assembly process, make sure everything runs smoothly, and troubleshoot any issues that pop up.
Like a master chess player.
Yeah.
Anticipating problems before they even happen, strategically directing the team to achieve peak efficiency and quality. And with that level of responsibility, I can only imagine the pressure that comes with being the one to make sure everything runs without a hitch.
Well, there's definitely pressure, no doubt about that. But here's the thing about this field. You're never really done learning, even at the top. Like we've been talking about, the auto industry just never sits still. New technologies pop up all the time. Advanced robotics, 3D printing, even virtual reality being used in design.
Sounds like it's always changing, like the wild west of manufacturing. So how does a senior assembler with years of experience keep up with all that? Our sources were really big on the importance of continuous learning in this field.
It's absolutely essential. You have to stay ahead of the curve. What's valuable today might be obsolete tomorrow. So you're attending workshops, checking out online forums for new manufacturing techniques, reading industry publications. It's all part of the job if you want to stay at the top of your game.
So it's both challenging and exciting, wouldn't you say? Perfect for people who love to keep learning, pushing the boundaries. You know, this conversation has gotten me thinking about all the different paths people take to get to these roles. Some might start straight out of high school. Others might discover this field after years doing something totally different.
That's what's so great about it. There's no one-size-fits-all mold for a motor vehicle body assembler. And that brings us back to RoleCatcher. Their platform can be such a game changer no matter your background or experience level.
So we talked about their CV builder, which is amazing, but what other tools do they offer that can really give job seekers an edge in this competitive industry?
One word: interviews. They have this incredible resource for interview prep. And I'm not just talking about a generic list of common questions. Imagine having access to a huge database of interview questions, specifically for motor vehicle body assembler roles, from entry level all the way up to senior management.
That's incredible. So you can actually practice answering the types of questions you're most likely to get in a real interview. No more guessing games.
Yeah.
But it gets even better, right? Their platform analyzes your responses and gives you personalized feedback.
Absolutely. It's like having your own personal interview coach. The AI pinpoints areas where you can improve, highlights your strengths, and it helps you craft those really strong, compelling answers that showcase your skills and experience.
That's amazing. Talk about a secret weapon to help you ace those interviews. But it's not just about interview prep either, is it? RoleCatcher also helps connect job seekers directly with potential employers in the auto industry.
That's right. One of the most valuable things about their platform is that employers can actually search for candidates. They can search based on specific skills and experience. So let's say a company is looking for someone with experience operating CNC machines, and they need someone with a background in electric vehicle assembly. They can plug those criteria into RoleCatcher, and boom, your profile pops up, even if you haven't applied for that specific job.
Wow, that's a game changer. It's like the tables have turned. Instead of you searching for them, they find you.
Exactly. It really levels the playing field and opens up a world of opportunities.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today? Whether you're just starting out, looking for a change, or you're already a seasoned pro in the auto industry, the world of motor vehicle body assemblers is bursting with potential. It's a field where your skills are in demand, where technology is always evolving, and where you have the chance to be a part of something real, something tangible.
And don't forget, it's a field with a bright future. As the automotive industry continues to change, so too will the opportunities within it. The key is to be adaptable, embrace lifelong learning, and never lose that passion for innovation.
Absolutely. So next time you see a car on the road, take a second to think about all the skilled hands that made it a reality. Think about the amazing blend of technology and human ingenuity that goes into every single vehicle. You never know, you might just be inspired to explore the world of motor vehicle body assembly and discover all the amazing opportunities that are out there. That's all we have for today's deep dive. Keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you next time.